Good evening, life groups. Can you believe 2021? And we certainly pray that this year will go smoother and we'll be able to be in more fellowship, more in-person gatherings than we were able to be in last year. And we are just praying for this virus to be dealt with. Of course, so many are struggling, and of course the surges and just so many people that I know I've heard, whether Facebook or whatever, have come down with it, and praise God, to this point I haven't personally seen anyone die. I've seen a few people hospitalized, and we're continuing to pray for them. But it's been a tough time. And one of the things the enemy wants to do in this, and of course there's some good things that God's bringing out of it, but one of the things the enemy wants to do during this time, he wants to try to weaken the church. He wants to weaken the body. And being in a life group is one of the greatest ways to strengthen your walk with God. We need it more than ever. Of course, we know what Hebrews says, and on Sunday we looked at Hebrews 11 and a couple verses into 12. But in Hebrews 10, verses 24 and 25, it says, "Not to forsake the assembling of ourselves together, as is the manner of some, but to come together to stir up one another for love and for good works." And certainly we need each other, and I think we've learned that in the last year. And so looking forward to you guys gathering, you guys encouraging one another. I want to encourage you to get in each other's lives throughout the week. I want to encourage you guys to invite people into your life group. Allow the Lord to use you. This should be a place where people are ministered to. It's a place where people can come to know the Lord. Just bring them in. Bring them into your relationship with the Lord. Bring them into your community, into your group, and watch what God will do as they just see real Christianity in front of them. As you guys get real and vulnerable and open with each other and praying and talking and getting in the Word and sharing about your struggles. Listen, unbelievers will be stunned by that, and God will use it in their lives. So want to encourage you guys to pray about as a group who you can invite, who you can bring, and not just, be kind of, so secure within each other, but open yourselves up. And, Sunday we looked at Hebrews chapter 11. We talked about the vision for this year, and, just that God is on the throne, right? Hebrews 11. It tells us in verse 6 that this is what true faith is, believing that God is, number one, and number two, that God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Impossible to please God without faith, and this is faith. So, you think about that, that's pretty simple. We believe that God is who God says he is. We talked about the attributes of God a little bit, just thinking through those. Encourage you guys, again, great book by A.W. Tozer on the attributes of God. It's called The Knowledge of the Holy. Great little simple read on the attributes of God. Of course, he has a two volume, I should say, series books on which is entitled The Attributes of God, but again by A.W. Tozer, my favorite author outside of the biblical authors. So, encourage you guys to think through that as we start this year. Wanted to, remind us that we saw that faith is looking unto Jesus. So when it says to look unto Jesus in chapter 12, verse 2, the idea of looking, of course, we're looking at the invisible God. How we do that? We do it through the eye of faith. Through chapter 11, we can consistently see the phrase unseen, unseen, unseen. Encourage you guys tonight to go through chapter 11 and try to identify those places where it either says unseen or it refers to something unknown, unseen, those kinds of things. So encourage you guys to do that as you get into the Word, as you go through the questions tonight. But just ask yourself, do you trust in God as we go into 2021, as we leave 2020, as we think about the craziness of where we are right now, in the world? Do we trust in the Lord? Is our hope in him? Is our faith in him? What is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. So I want us to put our faith in the unseen God, trusting in him. And then secondly, it says, and diligently seeking him, that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Are you diligently seeking the Lord? Because that's part of faith. Faith isn't stagnant. Faith is moving. We saw, and you guys can go through Hebrews 11 tonight and just kind of maybe circle or write down, every time it says by faith, because almost every verse starts with by faith, Abraham, by faith, Noah, by faith, Enoch, by faith, on and on and on we go. By faith, they did things. By faith, they acted. By faith, they moved. By faith, they trusted in God and went forward, and God accomplished incredible things. The whole Old Testament history was all the great heroes is by faith. And so we want to look unto Jesus, and we want to run that race that's set before us with that endurance by faith. So encourage you guys with that. Also remember, next week, starting Sunday, we'll talk a little bit about it, but not a lot. But the following Monday, I think it's the 11th or 12th. So this coming Monday, we start our week of prayer and fasting. And I'm going to be sending out a video through our email list about last year's message, to link to that, to get a little bit grounding of fasting, what fasting is, what prayer is, as we talk about it. Because Sunday, again, we're going to be starting 1 Corinthians. So we won't be spending a lot of time dealing with the prayer and fasting, because I want to jump into the book of 1 Corinthians. But last year we did a great message on it. Get refreshed in it. Get your hearts prepared. I would encourage you guys to begin to cut out caffeine, anything that you might, feel addicted to, something that would give you a headache if you didn't have, as we move into the week of prayer and fasting. Again, the message has the three different kinds of prayers. The three different kinds of fast. There's the complete fast, where you fast from water and food. There's the partial fast, where you are fasting from certain foods, but you're still eating food. And then there's just what we would call the fast, which is just fasting from food, but drinking water. And we go into the medical stuff in the message and things. So encourage you guys to check that out and be prepared for that. But begin to prepare yourself. Cut some sugar down. Hey, let's go into next week and really seek the Lord. For life groups next week, we aren't going to do our normal thing that we do. We're actually, because it's the week of prayer, we're going to spend time in prayer and worship. So that's going to be the bulk of it. There's not going to be the discussion and the study and things of that sort, but really spending some time in prayer. So excited about that, praying for that, praying that you guys will be a part of that, and the Lord will just do his work. If you haven't heard yet, of course, the sanctuary is going to be open Monday through Friday of next week. 7 to 8, we'll have corporate prayer. 12 to 1 and 6 to 7 in the evening, we'll be having corporate prayer. The only night we're not going to be doing the corporate prayer is Wednesday night for the life group. So just want to remind you guys of that. And that's a time of a little Devo, some worship, and some corporate prayer. So hopefully you can take advantage of that. And then, of course, Saturday, the prophetic prayer. This Sunday, you want to sign up for that. And what is prophetic prayer? People laying hands on you, praying over you, and really waiting for the Lord. If you're uncomfortable with hands being laid on you, the team will wear masks if you'd like them to do that, no problem. But just really hearing the Lord, getting a word from the Lord, and speaking it over your life. One of the most encouraging things I know in my life that I've experienced in the last decade is having these guys, this prayer team, good brothers and sisters in the Lord, grounded Calvary Chapel, people just praying over us, giving us words. I've been so encouraged. And, because we've done it now, this will be the third year, seeing the words they gave me come to pass, pretty powerful. I've already gone too long, so I'm going to stop there, but so much I could share with you about how the prophetic words were actually from the Lord and how I saw them come to pass. So be encouraged, be strengthened, grow in the Lord, love you guys, and have a great time tonight.